welcome to Gas to Sea Talk. Now we are at Schaeffler's China headquarters in Anting, Shanghai. Later on, we will have a conversation with Mr. Matthias Zing, CEO of Schaeffler Group's Powertrain Chassis Division. Stay tuned. Founded in 1946 and headquartered in Germany, Schaeffler is a technology company specializing in driving systems. The group focuses on 4 key areas: e-mobility, low-carbon powertrains, chassis applications, and renewable energy, offering a full range of drive-related products and services. Schaeffler has been developing in China since 1995. Now it has around 19,000 employees, 6 R&D centers, 17 factories, and a nationwide sales network in China committed to local production and innovation. On October 2024, Schaeffler successfully completed the merger with Vitesco Technology, making a new chapter in the company's growth. As the CEO of Schaeffler Group's Powertrain and Chassis divisions, how do you define the role of the division in the group's strategy?
I'm responsible for as you said, Powertrain and Chassis. We have a second division which is taking care for e-mobility, for the electrification, and we have one more division where we organize bearings, and the fourth division where we're having the vehicle lifetime solutions. And I'm contributing to the strategy together with the others because it's a transformation we are undergoing, in particular in the powertrain, from combustion engine via hybrids to electrification. So we're doing a common strategy, in particular on automotive products, but as well we're contributing to the group strategy of Schaeffler.
Now it's Auto Shanghai 2025, so it marks the first presence of Schaeffler Group after merger with the Vitesco Technology.
Absolutely.
Anything special?
Yeah, a lot of special. And I'm really looking forward to participate the Auto Shanghai for 2 reasons. Because on the one hand, I'm very interested on the news of the Chinese automotive market, on this innovation or embracing the future, as the motto is. I'm certain we're going to see a lot of new ideas of particularly the Chinese car makers. And equally excited I am first time showcasing the new Schaeffler after the merger, as you said. So we're gonna disclose our new product offering for electrification and for the intelligent cars, now with both precision mechanics, mechatronic, and electronics and software after the merger. So it's going to be the first time appearance together in China, and that's why I'm so excited visiting the Auto Shanghai.
Yeah, looking forward to that. We see the automotive industry actually is undergoing tremendous changes, either the integration of the new technology and also the restructuring of the market. What's your point of view on the trend, and how did Schaeffler cope up with this trend?
Well, you said it. I guess it's unprecedented transformation, and it's both. It's short-term transformation and it's long-term transformation. And on the short-term list, sure, we have many topics in the recent years, up to the tariffs now, but as well the semiconductor crisis and COVID crisis. So that's where the automotive industry, including us as a supplier, we learned a lot of responsiveness, resilience, and that helps us in principle. That makes you more robust as a company and more strategic. The long-term trend is undoubted from my and from our perspective. So the future will be electric, and the long-term future will be kind of autonomous. So that's the two North Stars we're working towards. And that as well is the reason why, or the rationale why we merged with Vitesco. So for us, we believe in the smartification and in the electrification, and our measure to get there is and will have been the merger with Vitesco, because that puts us in a position to collaborate with the automotive industry even better. So as a component maker, as a system supplier, and to early on, up to the software-defined vehicle, to early on being a partner of the automotive industry. That's the target of this merger.
Yeah, can you give us more detail about what kind of changes it happens after merger with the Vitesco technology, especially in the product portfolio and strategy?
Yeah. Well, as said, we always had two main directions. We had the powertrain division or the powertrain direction, and we had the chassis direction, whereas we did more engine elements and dampers and electromotors on the powertrain side and transmission part. We have products for chassis, on steering, and wheel bearing and others. So both fields we have been active already as Schaeffler. And we already had a good success as Schaeffler on the way to electrification. What we've been lacking is electronics, own electronics, and we didn't have as many software engineers as we would like to have. So, and that changed now significantly. So if I now look to this powertrain area, we're now having electronics, so power electronics, controls, so to really the intelligence for driving. But more than that, we as well have charging technology. We have even battery technologies, battery management systems. So many modules, components and systems for the electric driving on the one hand, on the powertrain side. Now on top comes that we have products as well to complete our steering portfolio. So where we had more mechanical products so far, we're now having electromotors, BLDC motors, so brushless actuator motors with smart controls for chassis, for rear wheel steering, for steer-by-wire, for damping systems, which is one of the products going forward for the autonomous driving. So means we have now a very complete portfolio from precision mechanics or bearing components up to complete 4, 5, 6-in-1 systems up to charging. That's a very holistic setup of products.
So actually I think it helped Schaeffler Group, new Schaeffler, cover a wider range, either from the components to the systems.
Absolutely, it covers a wider range, and as said, it's from the wheel bearing at the wheel up to the intelligence of the car, the software-defined vehicle. It's a wide range. And on top comes that we still have and will maintain our production technologies. So we're now producing own electronics in more or less every region of the world. We're producing own control units. We're producing own bearings, own e-motors, own transmissions. So whatever the customer would like to buy from Schaeffler, there is a lot of realization power within Schaeffler, and that we're going to keep, and that helps us as well in all these challenges and innovation to realize them, not only to think about it and to design them, but as well to realize them.
You can control it by yourself.
I can control it, or we can control it by ourselves, and we can offer it, in particular in these times of these geopolitical challenges in the country. So we have R&D in China, we have factories in China for electronics, for e-motors, for combustion engine parts. So whatever the customers need in the particular region, they can buy.
You mentioned the hardware, software, how to combine them together within its new requirements, especially for Tier 1.
Yeah, there is a lot of new requirements. On the other side, a lot of these requirements have been in place as well already. So like the former Vitesco had transmission control units, engine control units. So this collaboration between functionality, translating that in a software coding, and then operating systems, that has been there. Now for sure that will change. That will change now that a vehicle structure will not have 80 control units anymore. There may be 3, 4 zone controllers or software-defined structures of the car. So the whole, well, you can even call it brain of the car, or the control unit structure will significantly change. And now having this ECU, TCU know-how with Schaeffler now, we can talk to the car makers. We can even talk to the mobile phone makers who want to enter the car industry, how such a structure looks like and how you best organize these control units to operate and actuate the systems in the car. And there we are very early in these discussions. And that's essential going forward to derive the right product ideas.
It's not a manufacturer anymore. Actually, it's a tech company already.
It's both, absolutely both. I guess our DNA ever since has been what we think of and what we invent as products. We want to at least be in a position to manufacture ourselves so that we're going to maintain. But at the other side, yes, it's a tech company more than ever. It's a tech company who talks on an eye level with the customer, top engineers, with the CTOs, with the strategists, and that's a challenge. It's a different role, but it's as well something I and our teams appreciate, that we early on are partnering with the decision makers, but as well with the strategists and R&D guys of our customers, and that lifts us in a different role. So it's not a classical supplier's role. It's really a partner role, and that's decisive if you wanna embrace the future.
Yes, it's very exciting, right?
Yeah.
I think the Schaeffler's customer actually cover the vehicles, either passenger vehicle or the commercials and two-wheelers. Any differences from the products perspective and the innovation perspective?
Yeah, it's certainly a difference in the products perspective. It depends on the application, but if you look at the trends, they're similar. So I guess the heavy duty industry as well has to develop towards electrification. And even there, China is on the forefront, or I guess you already have about 15% electric trucks on the road per year, or sales at least. Similarly on the two-wheelers, if you walk through Shanghai, you see since many years electrified two-wheelers. So I guess that the basic trends are mainly electrification, hybridization, plus autonomous on the heavy-duty fenced area. That's going to be very similar, and the way of thinking, the way of designing, the way of engineering is different but similar. And whatever we have learned in the challenging automotive industry, that we project and apply as well in those other two sectors, and more than that, and we may come to that, we project that as well to other sectors, and that's why we call ourselves since the merger a motion technology company.
Okay. When we talk about the powertrain, actually there is a multiple paths about the powertrain, combustion engine, pure electric, hybrids, and also the cell solutions. So what's your choice, and how to balance different paths investment?
Yeah, our choice is technology diversity. So
all of them.
Our choice is really to be open to all the different technologies, and I guess that is proven to be the right strategy. I guess there has been 2, 3, 4 years ago a very binary view on things, where everyone said, let's go electric and let's get rid of combustion engine. And we always said, wait a minute, we want to work with a vision. We always said we believe in electric future, but it needs time. So we always said it's 40%, 40, 30, 30, or 30, 40. So we always gave ourselves a pretty eager and ambitious target, but we didn't say combustion will disappear and it's going to be only electric. And I guess that will have been the right strategies. Now look to China, where range extender, hybrids, and battery electric vehicles are more or less all new energy vehicles, you know, where you offer, or where Chinese car makers offer a flawless transition towards electrification, not banning one technology and only incentivizing the other technology. And I guess, keeping that open, giving clear targets on reduction of emission and CO2 emission, but allowing technical competition for the best solution. That's what we desire for, that's how we behave, that's how we did our strategies, and that's exactly the reason, again, for the merger, that we said now it's time, because it's gonna be electric, it has its time, but with a new setup of products, we can serve range extender as good as hybrid, as good as battery electric vehicle, and that's the midterm future.
But if you follow all the paths, you need to spend a lot of investment. So how to, invest in each path with the innovation and the cost efficiency?
Yeah, that's true. You need investment. On the other side, a lot of investment for combustion engine and particularly or partially for hybrids is already done. So I guess it would be rather not wise to too early give up investment being already made. Or, on the other side, yes, you have to do a very conscious investment into e-mobility, and that's why we have more than ever these talks on an eye level with the strategists of the car makers. This is why we more than ever study the market and the different technologies to form our own opinion. In the past, 10 years ago, a supplier had to follow and did follow the recommendations of the OEMs. You know, actually, we have a strategy for Americas, for Europe, for China. We do our own strategies and own beliefs. And with that, I guess we are in a position to decide consciously where we invest and where we do not invest. It's a challenge. You cannot serve everything with the same percentage or portion. But look, a hybrid, you need the know-how for electrics and for combustion, and all of that we have. It's a matter of how you portion your capabilities and capacities and investment, and that's going well, I would say.
And also the pace of the different markets actually is quite different. The focus is not the same.
Yeah.
Will you consider that when you develop those kind of new technologies?
Definitely. And yes, absolutely. I guess I couldn't agree more that the pace of the different markets is very different. And it's as well no secret that the highest pace is here in China. You know, where incredibly, and I've been living here 10 years ago for a while. And already then I thought, wow, how quick is that country? How motivated and eager are those people? And still they are more than ever. So if you see all these many electric brands on the road or cars on the road, and you're working with them as a supplier, you have to adjust, you have to adapt. The good thing is that we as Schaeffler early on did delegate responsibility to the teams here in China, that we did empower those people here. So the team around Zhang Yilin is very much empowered, very much qualified. So many of the actual leaders and as well key people have been for a while in headquarters. So there is a good connect. But I would say 90% plus of the authority to make decisions, to invent products, to design products and to release products with the customer is here in China. And there are a few examples already where 100% of the innovation, the invention, the design, the engineering, the industrialization and the production is completely made here in China. And that's the only way to follow up or to follow the speed of the clients here. The only key to success.
Yeah. In Chinese Kung Fu, there is a saying, 天下武功唯快不破. It means that the speed can help help the player to win all the contacts, all the competition. So speed matters in China.
Yeah.
I think you totally understand that point.
I completely understand. I would add speed and quality matters.
Oh yeah. Speed and quality. Both matters.
But that's exactly what we try to combine, you know. And yes, there is more and more the saying, well, China is way quicker than the rest of the world. That's true. But I guess we still have to keep in mind quality, robustness, reliability, because all these new technologies we're developing, electric, autonomous, sensor, LiDAR, radar, software, that means something. That means responsibility for the car makers, for the suppliers, right? And that's why I'm saying, yes, we have to be quick, we have to be agile, speedy, but we have to be conscious of what we supply to our customers. And it's always the combination of speed and diligence. But that's the beauty of this collaboration as well in Schaeffler between the headquarters or the global team and the local team, that we give exactly those strengths and support to the region. But this agile approach that's completely sitting here in China.
Yeah. When we talk about the intelligent driving, we see there's a trend from the chassis control system to expanding to the body interaction systems. How Schaeffler keep up with this trend, and especially in your innovation with technology and the products?
That's true. That's something I'm observing as well. Particularly here in China, and that's one of the things I want to scout a little bit at the Auto Shanghai on Wednesday. But I'm seeing that as well in Europe and Americas, that this convenience of the car, or the car is turning more and more into consumer good.
Yes.
I guess even more so for the next generation after me, or so people are having high expectations, maybe coming from the mobile phone applications to have the car as a consumer good, as a convenient consumer good. And that will not end with automation of powertrains. That's way more. So it's definitely the chassis convenience, whether this is then vertical damping or steering, but as well access to the vehicle, automatic functions of door opening, of trunk and front opening. And you may believe or not, in the portfolio of Vitesco, and I admit the main purpose has been to strengthen us on this e-mobility side. But there is a lot of sensor technologies in, and there are sensor technologies, for instance, where you can open the door with a radar signal. So ultra-wideband sensors. You approach the car, you can open the door with a mobile phone. You can open the trunk with a gesture.
That's right.
So these kind of products we have now in our portfolio. And if you now think innovatively through the portfolio, and you say, well, I can open the door, or I can prepare the door to open. I can even add an actuator to open the door for convenience. It exactly feels or opens the field for innovation to literally embrace the future.
Yeah, in the field of the sensors, actuators, and also the intelligent components, what's the breakthroughs when Schaeffler merged the Vitesco technology? Give us some best practice.
Yeah, the breakthrough is still to come, I guess. But the first and foremost, what we're gonna do, we have been. If you see the history of Schaeffler, we started, or Mr. Schaeffler and his brother started with bearings, rotating bearings, right? Now over time, that developed into component, subsystem, system level. It developed from mechanics, precision mechanics, up to mechatronics. Now comes from the other end, comes the controls, this printed circuit board, the control units, and the software. Now combining that gives you breakthrough products. We can now do our own power pack, so an intelligent motor for each and every actuation. We can actuate doors, we can actuate trunks, we can actuate transmission, we can actuate cooling, heating. The breakthrough is that we are now completely equipped with the different technologies. And with that we can design each and every kind of motion, not only for the automotive industry. You can do that for the new energy sector, for mining, for medical. So we have much more opportunities now. And if at all, I would call that the breakthrough, that the portfolio is now, or the different contributors to a portfolio are now there, and we can unleash a lot of potential there.
Yeah. When you see that, I remember this year CES, I visit Schaeffler's booth. There is a robot there.
For instance, yeah.
Yes. And I remember Jensen from NVIDIA, he mentioned that the AI physical. So now, at least in China, you will see a lot of OEMs, suppliers from automotive industry, actually they enter the emerging industries.
Yeah.
How about Schaeffler's plan?
That's exactly what I meant when I said it's even more than this automotive application. And if you now do the transfer from what I said in the mechanics and electronics, you immediately come to those applications like robots or humanoids, and we starting activities there as well, because it doesn't matter whether you actuate a engine throttle body, or you actuate a transmission part, or you actuate a door handle, or you actuate a robot arm, right?
Yeah.
So and with all the know-how, and as well this control know-how, I talked in automotive terms, I talked about software-defined vehicle. In robot terms, you can talk about AI, talking to NVIDIA and others. So if we gonna project or prospect all these know-how we're having from the automotive industry now to these other applications, I guess you're gonna pretty soon see Schaeffler products in robots with all these planetary gears and BLDC motors and controls and smartification. It's not only on cars.
Here or outside of China?
In China, already happening.
Wow, you already have a plan.
We
in
already have a
action.
plan, we're already supplying prototypes, we're already working on that, yeah.
So you will continue investment in this emerging industry.
Definitely. We want to purposely go broader than only automotive. We not only merge with Vitesco for being part of the e-mobility sector. It's much more than that.
Yeah. This year is the 30th anniversary for Schaeffler
Yep.
enter China market.
Yeah.
How will you evaluate the function, the value of China in the transformation of electrification, intelligence, low carbon, a lot of things?
Well, maybe I'm a little bit biased since I'm living here in Shanghai for a while, and I'm very close to the team here in China. So maybe you get a second opinion after mine. But I'm extremely convinced of what the team is doing here. I really admire the togetherness of this team here in China, because you know that Schaeffler wasn't the same Schaeffler 70 years ago. It was INA company, then the LUK, we talked about that in the past, then the FHE, then now the merger with Vitesco.
Yeah.
So integrating and merging all these different brands and cultures, that needs normally time. Now the Schaeffler family here, who is a pretty young team, 30 years compared to the rest of Schaeffler, it's a pretty young team with the age of 30. They always have been working together, respecting each other, motivating each other. So they did exactly unleash this great potential what Schaeffler has.
Yeah.
And that happens now exactly these days with Vitesco. So I'm extremely positive on that team. And with that mindset and with this togetherness, they will as well create the right solutions for this CO2 reduction, for the automation, for this smartification. They are on the forefront of it. Even in the global Schaeffler, if we're talking in headquarters or wherever we are, we always are a little bit jealous.
Wow.
to
Seriously?
the team in China, no? Because they sitting here in Anting, all the brands are sitting more or less here, right? That's partially a given, that's fortune, but it's as well a lot of engagement of this team here, a lot of even this employer attractiveness. Wherever you look, the response, the town hall meeting. So the Chinese team is always on the forefront because they invest into it, and that's what we really admire and desire a bit. Yeah.
Here already have 6 R&D centers in China. So a lot of the local innovation, will you leverage this resource to the global market?
We will and we do, but in all honesty, we actually need the capacities mainly for here, because there is so many, and I said that before, and that's very positive, so many self-initiated research or development ongoing now for this variable damper system, for the motion deactivation, for the humanoids already. So there is so many R&D work being done here that we actually have to. So we're not limiting ourselves, we actually have to focus on the local market. For sure we can imagine that China as well takes over global tasks. There is no limit. But actually, and that's a matter of success or a consequence of the success of the business being awarded, of the projects being awarded to the team. There is a lot of capability needs and capacity needs here in China. But again, there is no limit to as well give more to them.
You visit China every year, almost.
More than once, yeah.
More than once. Besides speed, anything special you think in China?
Yeah.
Impress you most?
Yeah. the pioneering spirit. So the speed is the consequence, rather. I guess what impresses me most is this self-motivation, this intrinsic motivation of the team here to win, to compete, to do things better, to trust each other. And the speed is for me a consequence. But this togetherness, this motivation, that's something that when I come here, that's what I'm always enjoying.
Yeah, that's a part of culture.
Yeah, absolutely.
What's your point of view on the future potential of China market? Let's say 5 to 10 years.
Well, the market has. If you see what happened the last 10 years in the automotive industry globally and particularly in China, so where 10 years ago, where the global car makers have been dominating here with transmission technology and engine technology. Now within 10 years, China took the lead at minimum for China on the electrification and is about to take the lead for the way to autonomous. So if you ask me when do we see, you and I, or when do we do the first common ride on the road with an autonomous car, I can't answer. But I can answer that China will be on the forefront of it. So all these autonomous functionalities, making the car a consumer good, bringing new and modern functionalities to the car, to the cockpit, even to the steering element, and so that will happen in China. So besides the electrification, the next big thing will be this way to autonomous. And when we would sit, or when we will sit here,
we will see.
In 10 years from now, we will be picked up autonomous or semi-autonomous then by a Chinese car.
Yeah.
And not only in China, those cars will make it to the world. That's what I'm certain.
What's your expectation for Schaeffler China in future 10 years, let's say?
Keep going. I guess the only challenge is as well in Schaeffler now the size. If you look to our new KPIs, we are now 120,000 people globally. We have 19,000 here in China, so it's a matter of size. How, and that's what I praised actually. I said this togetherness in China. That's what I admire, and my simple desire is that despite the size and the dimension we now are in, that we keep those spirit, that culture, that togetherness, that trust, that teamwork, that the team keeps that up, and that the team keeps the customer always on the top of the list, right? I guess that's the North Star to go. Customer satisfaction, and then internally this trust and teamwork. But I'm 100% certain they will, but it's more challenging than in the past.
In long term, what kind of value you want to create with local clients and suppliers?
The value is sure. I guess we all on that globe, we all have an issue to solve, and this is the CO2 emission. So the main value I want to create is simply sustainability. As big as it sounds, but I want to create as well for my next generation and the generation after next a sustainable and cleaner world. Very simple, or very difficult, but very simple statement. And I want China to contribute there. I want our people to contribute. And that's the most important one. I could now elaborate on smart mobility or so, but that's second priority. The highest priority is this CO2 emission neutrality or reduction, and that's what I would like to see happening as well, and heavily supported, and Schaeffler being on the forefront of it.
Okay, that's all for today. Thank you. Thank you
for your time.